That thing where you wake up and your shoulder is just gone. Not painful exactly, more like it's been replaced with a bag of wet concrete that's fused to the side of your neck. You slept on it wrong, you know you slept on it wrong, and now you're standing in the shower, letting hot water run over it for 10 minutes, just to get your head to turn left. And the worst part, this has been happening for years. You've tried different pillows. You've tried sleeping on your back like someone told you to. Nothing sticks. Nothing changes. Because here's the thing, and this is what almost no one talks about. The problem isn't your pillow. It isn't your mattress. It's your geometry. The angle your spine is sitting at for 6 to 8 hours every single night. And once you see it, once you understand what your body is actually doing while you sleep, the fixes are so obvious it's almost embarrassing that nobody showed you sooner. I'm a physiotherapist, and I see this every week. People come in with chronic neck pain, shoulder impingement, lower back stiffness that's been there so long they've started to think of it as a personality trait. And 9 times out of 10, when I ask them how they sleep, I can already see exactly what's happening. So let's go through it, right here, position by position. Because by the end of this, you're going to know more about your sleeping spine than most people learn in a lifetime. And you're going to have everything you need to fix it tonight. Let's start with stomach sleeping. Because stomach sleeping is, and I say this with complete professional affection, a disaster. Look, I'm not going to tell you it's some kind of emergency. But I want you to think about what's actually happening. When you lie on your stomach, your head has to rotate almost 90 degrees to one side just so you can breathe. For 6 hours. Think about what that is in daily life terms. It's basically the equivalent of sitting at your desk for a full work day, with your head turned hard to the left and never moving it. The muscles on one side of your neck are in sustained contraction the entire time. The joints in your cervical spine, right here at the very top of your neck, are compressed and rotated, and over months and years the body adapts to that. The muscles shorten, the joints stiffen, and you wake up wondering why your neck won't turn. Now here's where it gets interesting. The other thing stomach sleeping does, and this one gets missed constantly, is flatten out the natural curve in your lower back. You see, your lumbar spine has a gentle inward curve when you're standing or sitting properly. It's designed that way. The discs need that curve to distribute load evenly. But when you're face down on a mattress with nothing supporting you, that curve collapses. Your lower back basically sags flat, and the muscles that are supposed to maintain that curve spend the entire night quietly working overtime trying to hold it, which is exactly why stomach sleepers wake up, with that deep, diffuse ache across the lower back. That doesn't really go away until midday. If you genuinely cannot stop stomach sleeping, and look, some people just can't, the single most effective thing you can do is put a pillow under your pelvis. Not under your stomach, under your pelvis, right at the hip bones. That one adjustment partially restores the lumbar curve and takes an enormous amount of pressure off those lower back joints. And use the thinnest pillow you can under your head, or no pillow at all. The goal is to minimize how far your neck has to rotate. Try it tonight. You're going to feel the difference immediately. Now, okay, stomach sleeping is one thing, but what about side sleeping? Because side sleeping has its own set of landmines, and almost everyone who thinks they're doing it right is falling into at least one of them. Side sleeping, done correctly, is actually the position most physiotherapists recommend. But watch what most people actually do. They curl. The shoulders round forward, the knees come up toward the chest, the neck drops because the pillow is either too flat or too thick. And what you've created is basically a position where your entire spine is in a long C shape, flexed at every joint, held there for hours. The muscles along the back of your spine are stretched and under tension all night. Your shoulder, the one you're lying on, is being compressed under your full body weight, with the arm rotated inward. And here's the part that explains a lot, that shoulder impingement people come in with. Very often it's a side sleeping problem, not a movement problem. The fix for side sleeping comes down to 3 things, and each one matters. First, your pillow height. Right here, the gap between the side of your head and your shoulder. Your pillow needs to fill that gap completely. If your head drops toward the mattress, the muscles on the upper side of your neck are working all night to stop it from falling further. If your pillow is too thick and your head is pushed upward, the lower side is compressed. You want your neck perfectly level, ears, shoulders, hips, all in one straight line. If you've got a wider set of shoulders, you need more height. If you're narrower, less. It sounds obvious once you hear it. Almost nobody gets this right. Second, your knees. Put a pillow between them. I know this sounds too simple, but when you stack your knees on top of each other with nothing in between, the upper hip rolls slightly forward, which pulls the pelvis, which twists the lower back, yes, that same lower back pain again. The pillow between the knees keeps the pelvis level. It keeps the hip in neutral, and the gap between that and the deep sleep ache most side sleepers wake up with is remarkable. A regular bed pillow works fine. Third, and this is the one most people skip, your bottom arm. Most side sleepers either tuck it under the pillow or extend it straight out. Both positions put sustained load on the shoulder joint. Instead, let it rest in front of you, slightly bent, so the shoulder is in a neutral position and not carrying load. See the difference? That's the whole setup. If you've made it this far and you're already mentally rearranging your bed for tonight, hit subscribe, because we do exactly this every week. Practical corrections for real physical problems. No equipment required. Now, back sleeping. Back sleeping sounds like the safe choice, and it can be, but only if you understand one thing that almost everyone gets completely wrong. When you lie flat on your back on a firm surface, your lower back doesn't rest against the mattress. There's a gap, right here, just above the pelvis. The lumbar curve lifts away from the surface, and the muscles that support it have to stay partially activated all night to hold it there. It's like asking someone to hold a plank for 6 hours. Low-grade, sustained, exhausting muscular effort, and you wake up feeling like you didn't actually rest. The fix is almost insultingly simple. A pillow under your knees. Not a thick one, just enough to bring your knees to a slight bend. What that does is tilt the pelvis slightly backward, which closes that lumbar gap and lets the lower back actually rest against the mattress. The muscles finally get to stop working. You can feel it within about a minute of lying there. That quiet release as your lower back settles. It's real. It works. And all it takes is a spare pillow you already own. Now, before we wrap up, drop a comment and tell me, is it your neck or your lower back that gets you every morning? Because the answer changes exactly which of these fixes matters most for you, and I want to know which one I should go deepest on next. Here's the thing that ties all of this together. None of these problems are mysterious. None of them are just getting older or just how your body is. Your body is mechanical, beautifully mechanical, and it responds to position the way a building responds to its foundations. Get the structure right, and everything above it can function the way it was designed to. Get it wrong night after night, and the whole thing compensates in ways that eventually show up as pain you thought was permanent. You're not broken. You're just slightly tilted, and now you know exactly how to fix it. Try one thing tonight, just one. The pillow under the knees, the pillow between them. or the thinner pillow and the hip support. One change. One morning, and notice what's different when you stand up. That's where it starts. Try just one thing from this video tonight. Tomorrow morning, you'll feel the difference. If this was helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and send this video to someone who could use it. Your mum, your dad, a friend, a neighbour, because sleeping without pain isn't a luxury. It's something everybody can get back. See you in the next one.